Hello, everyone. It's Carolyn Moor with Modern Widows Club, and today is June 23rd, International Widows Day. All year long, we work towards raising awareness for this one day. Now, for those of you who don't actually know much about International Widows Day, it was created 10 years ago, and this morning I got to be on the call with actually the Lumba Foundation and Lord Lumba, who actually petitioned the United Nations for 5 years and then finally got it recognized in 2011. So Modern Widows Club has been around for 10 years and International Widows Day has been around for 10 years. So we're both actually celebrating our 10-year celebration. Honestly, the theme of today is celebrate the wins. I have to tell you, being on the call this morning with people from all over the world, Uganda, UK, and Kenya, India, United States, I was blown away by the efforts of people who really care about widows. And then there's on the other side, how hard it's been for all of these organizations around the world to even get this day recognized in the media. You probably won't hear about it in the media. And that is part of the mountain that we're climbing in raising awareness for this day. I learned some new things this morning from my new widow advocate friends around the world. And bottom line, we all have to keep fighting for this day to be recognized. There is too much good that widows offer in the world that is valuable. But there really isn't anywhere, there isn't any country doing a stellar job of really serving widows, supporting widows, and doing whatever it takes, whether it's government or religious institutions or social institutions. There actually is no one doing a stellar job, right? I personally, as a widow advocate, believe that the United States could be that country. I think that this is why we have a petition, and thank you to all of you who have signed that. I think the last time I looked at it, we were at like 5,700 signatures, and that's huge. The more signatures, the more you share that, the higher chance we have to attract some media around that. Our goal is to get 10,000 signatures, and it may not happen today. It may, I don't know, but we're going to continue to keep it up. And we're, because those 11 resolutions that we have on that petition is so important. I'm so glad that I can see some of you guys. Hey, Lori. Hey, Janet, Tracy, Regina, Melissa. It's so nice to see you guys on this. And I've got a few guests for us coming at about 1:15, but we're not going to go there yet. I'm just going to give you some of the stats of widow that I just literally know off the top of my head. The United States is the third largest country for widows. India and China both beat us. India is 42 million widows around the world, and China is 41 million. We have just a little bit under 14 million. Now, all of these numbers are from 2015 or 2011. We don't have current numbers, but common sense tells you, because of COVID and this pandemic, that the amount of widows has increased because there have been more male deaths disproportionately. And so that, I learned that on the call this morning. It's happening all over the world. So here's the reality. There were a lot of widows before. They are exponentially more now because of COVID. And we may even have some COVID widows on this call. This is why we stand in that gap and we raise awareness, and we talk about these statistics, we talk about our stories, and we share the need. If I didn't tell my story 10, 20 years ago about what was lacking and then go and do something about it and become a widow advocate and talk to hundreds, thousands of people about what I was learning, we wouldn't have all the knowledge we have in this community today, right? Anybody can go over and Google the Global Widows Report. It's a 216-page PDF that, well, I think you'll be stunned for a while after reading the document. I certainly was. And what I learned this morning from international advocates, we have our work cut out for us, that's for sure. But there are so many great things to celebrate today, and I can't wait to show you guys the 1 Million Widows video, because we're going to bring Liz Casland, who actually wrote and performed the song for our special video that all of you guys sent in. These beautiful 1 Million Widows signs with your beautiful faces, because you're 1 in a million. But you're also part of 1 Million Widows, 1 million women who become 1 million widows every year in this country. When I found that out and I kind of did the math, I just went, wow, why is no one talking about this in mainstream media? They're not including it in women's health. They're not including it in human rights. They're not including it in women's topics. And that's why we have to interject our stories into all these important areas that can create changes. This is why I talk about going to your places of worship and asking. And when you have this information, I mean, it's really powerful. It really changed me and how I and what I understood to be true. I was going to try to find. Oh, here it is. Here's the actual. I've been advocating for widows for so long that I actually got a hard copy of the Widows Report. Most people don't have this, but as you can see, I have tagged quite a few pages here because this was the beginning of my education. And, you know, I'm just going to read this really quickly in the cover, because this is still true today, and you're going to be shocked by these dates. It can be said that there is no group more affected by the sin of omission than widows. They are painfully absent from the statistics of many developing countries, and they are rarely mentioned in the multitude of reports on women's poverty, development, health, or human rights published in the last 25 years. This comment was from United Nations Division of the Advancement for Women in 2001. Let that sit in for just a minute. So 2001, this comment was made, and here we are at 2021, post-COVID, and we still can't get media around this important issue for women. So I want to thank you for being a part of this movement and being a part of this community, because this is how we can make a change. The more of us that stand together arm in arm and say we want change, we will find it. I believe that, and I have seen it happen. We are starting to see some inroads in the people that we're starting to reach out to and asking to do a documentary, to, you know, Liz singing this song. We would love to have a music benefit, all these different ways that normally get awareness around it. We need to be doing that for widows, because this is the last global social area of significance that has not been addressed. And I think most of you know what kind of happened with human trafficking, right? It's like once they got an office on trafficked persons in the administration of children and families with the United States government, all of a sudden everybody knew about human trafficking. Well, guess what? It's time for us to have an office on widowed persons, because this is an actual crisis. This sin of omission, where widows are completely absent even in the languaging when they talk about women and economic empowerment, and widows are not mentioned. That just goes to show you that there is a broken link in them understanding what's happening between the myths and the realities of widowhood and women in that stage of life. So we, our community, all of our community advocates, all of you on our web, and in our database and on our social sites, I mean, all of you have kind of stepped up and really done your own part. This year, we have 5 states that are recognizing International Widows Day. Now, these are the ones that I know. I just asked Gina, our executive director, to send this to me. And Florida was the first one. And actually, Orlando, Florida, the city and state was the first one. Okay. We can do this at every state. Next year, we want to have all 50 states, and we want our own national day. And President Biden or Vice President Kamala Harris, please put them in touch with us, because we have information that we can share with them. Share the petition. It has everything on there. So Florida, then Missouri, St. Louis Cardinals, Washington State, Arkansas, where I'm from, and Minnesota. I don't have all the cities, but we have about 20 cities, big ones: Atlanta, Houston, oh my gosh, Kansas City. We have a lot of big cities that now recognize International Widows Day. And what does that mean? That means someone, a governor, a mayor, a House of Representatives, someone walked that into the process and said, this is something valuable enough to actually give public recognition to. And so those are huge wins for us, right? I got some questions over here. I'm going to be, hi, Sandra. Hi, Glenda. Hi, Lisa. Oh my gosh. I'm so not used to having this feed over here. And so it's all kind of new to me. Hi, Suzette. Hi, Carolyn, Jennifer. Thank you guys all for joining us. Hey, Lisa. Oh my gosh. Hey, Sonia. Thanks for dropping these links in as I'm talking about things. I really appreciate it. Now, I need to come over here and I need to find, I'm trying to find where our guests are coming in at. They're going to come in at about the 15 minutes. I hope I haven't. So get this, you guys, this is my first time to do an actual live like this and show a video. And I was like, well, no time like the present time to learn how to do these things. I mean, you guys know me. It's like, just throw me into something and I'll figure out how to do it. I just love it. Let's see, but I'm trying to figure out where Liz and where Billy is, because we want them to be on. If anybody's sending me private messages, I probably won't be able to see those. I can only see the live chats that are coming in. Okay, so let me just check my phone really quickly, because I want to make sure nobody's texting me anything, any kind of emergency. But in just a minute, we're actually going to be able to show you the 1 Million Widows video, which we're very proud of. I just want to do a special shout out for Lori, who helps us with our marketing. She's also our Sacramento community advocate leader, and she did a really great job on the video. But I'm not going to tell you much about Liz and the song with the video, but hold on a second. I'm going to come over here and drop this down because I've got to see. Where? Usually if they come in, they're over here. So maybe there's not on yet. I want to come over here and I want to show you something. I'm going to come over here on the screen. I want to show you our website. So you should be able to see our website now. If you haven't gone over to our website, I want you to, because there's a lot over there for you to actually take advantage of. And it's brand new. We spent over a year designing it. And so let's see, let me see where it is. There's that. that. I got the video up. I think this is it. Okay. So this is what we have. This is the home page. I just want to kind of scroll down. There's a little video there. Widow Empowerment event is right there. All you have to do is click right there and it'll take you. Now, here's what I really want to talk to you about. We have a Widow Empower quiz right here on our homepage. I think we've had about 900 widows actually take this quiz, but what it does is it's really great. It was developed by Jordan, who's also a widow in our organization, but she's also a licensed mental health therapist. And so she actually designed this quiz just for all of you, okay? And you can take the quiz, you just click right there, it takes you over, and you can see where you are on the Hope, Heal, Grow, Lead pathway. This would have been an excellent tool that I would have loved to have had when I became newly widowed, because I didn't quite know like where I was. I was working on all these areas, the things that we talk about as far as the pillars of healthy widowhood, and that's why we designed that program. But this is really helps you because you can actually see where you can start, because this is all going to make sense in just a minute when I tell you about something brand new after we meet Liz and Billy. But you can, we try to put statistics on the actual website so you can share with people. And then, you know, there's so many things you can do. The Inside Look right here with the cute little glasses. If you are not signed up for Inside Look newsletter, you need to go over and sign up for that, because every Thursday you get special stuff in your email. And we share stories. Lisa was featured in this most recent one. We share mental health insights. There's usually videos, like when my TEDx came out, we shared it. So everything comes out in that, and it makes it easy for you to access and know what's happening in MWC. So go on over there. Now, we have a blog, and we now have online courses, but I'm getting ahead of myself. Don't go over there yet, because we have an announcement today. We have so many different resources here, and we've got a podcast. We've got all of our videos over on YouTube channel, and then go find your community. What I really hope you'll do today is you'll go and you'll kind of click around and you'll see what is on our website. My story is here. Our impact report is here. Everything is there. There's so much there if you go and click around. We've even got an advocacy page now. So we've got our whole document here. We have an advocacy page so you can see what we're doing, because this is sort of the path. We create community, and then we create leaders, and then we become advocates. You can do anything from this point. So let's see, we have a timeline. If you ever was curious, like when Modern Widows Club started and what the heck has been happening in the last 10 years, you can come over here and see that. So we also have our financial statements. We have our team on there, and we have a FAQ, which is really helpful. But the Hope, Heal, Grow, Lead, we have a community page. We have an event page. Just go on over there, find your community. These are all the communities, the 38 communities, and the 5 international communities that we have. Now, here's one special thing. We have a Legends page. Now, this was an idea of mine, because as you grow in widowhood, you look to other people that are before you. Like my dream is to meet Grace and Michelle, Nelson Mandela's widow. Why? Because she's like mind-blowing advocate for so many great causes. But we have a page here that talks about other legendary widows, and people used to laugh at me because I would say that, but you know, you read these women's stories and they're extraordinary. Like this month is Julia Child. Next month is going to be Betty White. So every month we have a legendary widow that we feature. We have a topic and we have a video. And so you really want to lean in to everything Modern Widows Club has. So and then we've got our podcast and our media and blogs and videos. And very important, we have a give page. We are completely reliant on donations and also grants to provide all these services and programs that we have. So we hope that you will make us your charity of choice. And let's see if we have Liz and Billion. Oh, there they are. Okay. Okay. I can see them over here. They're not live yet, but I'm going to bring them on. Let me look at the posts here real quickly to see if there's anything. Oh, hey, Debbie. Great to see you. Okay. So let's go on over here, and I'm going to let Liz Casland and Billy Dorsey. So here I'm going to click the button. You ready?
Hi, Carolyn.
Look at you. This is actually the first time we've actually seen each other on video. I've heard your voice.
So. Yeah, I'm trying to my office, the lights aren't super great. So I've got like 50 bazillion different lamps in front of me.
Oh, do you?
To try and get a little bit more light. Yeah.
I'm the same way. I've got an architectural tizzy lamp here, and it's just like, it looks like it's a big spotlight. But hey, girl, you're going to have to get used to that because you're going to be on stages singing songs, and those bright lights are going to be on your little rising star. So
that's all right by me.
Right. So let me just tell you guys a little bit about Liz. About a month ago, one of our Ellie, a mutual friend of ours, reached out to me, and she said, hey, there's this young widow that I met, and she's a singer. And she loves the 1 Million Widows campaign. And she was wondering if she could get involved and write a song for it. And I told Ellie, I go, there are things that I write on my wish list for the future. And sometimes I don't tell people about them. And then one day they just show up. And when Ellie texted me that day, I broke down in tears, no joke, because I was like, oh, someone cares enough to create a song for our community, and I was waiting for that day. So thank you for having the heart to do that with us. Yeah.
Well, I mean, I thank you for giving me this opportunity. When I first lost my husband, I'm sure, like very many other widows, it's one of those things where you kind of go through this, what am I going to do? And so through that journey, I came to really kind of come back into my passion for music. And I was very fortunate enough to find a vocal coach here in Houston who set up a meeting with Billy and I, and, we just kind of hit it off, and we were both like, yeah, let's do this. And whenever I brought up the 1 Million Widows campaign, I mean, Billy was just like, oh yeah, we have to do something. And I was like, really? Because I want to do something too. So, but Ellie has just been a huge blessing. She got me in contact with you, but also kind of on and off, she and I have just been in communication, and we actually have never met face to face, just through text messages because of the pandemic and everything. And, but, every time I was just going through a really, really tough time, especially in my immediate circle of, friends and family and everything, I really didn't have any other widows to, talk to and be like, hey, I'm feeling this. Is this normal? How did you deal with it? And she was always right back with, girl, it's okay. You got this. Like, we all go through things like that. And I was just like, this lady's awesome. So, I mean, yes. The fact that she was a part of Modern Widows Club was just even better.
Yes, I remember the first time I met Ellie, and she'll probably tell you that story. I got seated next to her at a luncheon. And if that wasn't a divine appointment, I don't know what it is. So you sat down, you decided, I'm going to bring Billy on in a minute, but I'm going to let you talk. How did you come up with the word? So the title of the song is Pieces, and your sister actually did the art for the cover, which people will see when they go over to Apple Music and iTunes, which I already purchased this morning, and I hope everyone here will. But how did that come to be?
So it's actually been really interesting throughout, this whole journey. I've had to really come to terms with the fact that I personally believe that things happen for a reason, whether they're good, whether they're bad. You kind of have to look at your situation and go, what can I learn from this? What can I take from this experience? And actually, right before Billy and I had the session to write the lyrics, I had shot him a couple ideas and everything. And one of the things I love working with Billy, for is just his ability to take conversations we have and take ideas that I'm throwing out and, you know, kind of all the chaos that's going on up here and be able to really put it onto paper. And then, you know, he'll send me kind of what he's compiled, and then I'll go through it and say, hey, you know, I think, you know, these lyrics here, if we change it to this, it could be a lot more powerful and everything like that. So it's a really, really amazing collaboration effort between both of us. But what had happened a few days before was I went on a boat on Memorial Day, which is always very scary for me because of, you know, how I lost Ben. It was an accident on the lake. And I was determined that my anxiety was not going to get the best of me. And I was like, I am going to go tubing because that looks fun. And, you know, my heart was racing, but I got off and got back on the boat and I was like, okay, that wasn't too bad. And then about 5 minutes later, someone was handing me a drink and I realized that Ben's wedding ring was gone. I had gone to wearing it I never took it off. I never took it off. Never had an issue with it sliding or anything. I wore it on my largest finger and I just couldn't bear to take it off. And it didn't even occur to me that pop, it would just fall off in the lake. And I was absolutely shattered when I realized, like, I had a breakdown right on the boat, like right there. And, you know, I went like a whole day just laying in bed and crying and just beside myself. And, you know, I really had to take a hard look and say to myself, it's okay to be really upset and sad that I lost this piece of him, but it doesn't take away the memories that I have of him. And when I was telling Billy the whole ordeal, it just kind of kept coming up. Like I kept feeling throughout this journey that I kept losing pieces of him. You know, I closed on my house recently. I lost his wedding ring. I had to rehome some of our amazing pets that he and I had together since we, you know, didn't have children. And I kept telling him, I just feel like I keep losing these pieces, but I know those pieces are just things and it's not him, and I'll always have him in my memories and in my heart. So it's okay to mourn these things that I'm losing, but knowing that I'm not losing him if these things are gone. So,
right. And pieces can be both sides of the coin in a lot of ways, because it's these pieces that are falling away, but then there's these pieces that are falling towards you.
Yeah. And I mean, that's been another really huge thing. You know, I'd always had a passion for music. You know, definitely when I went into college and everything, I wanted to do musical theater and all these things. And then I wound up going into nursing and I really enjoyed it. I loved working with the kiddos that I got a chance to work with. But after he passed away, I was just, I was so lost because I was like, you know, I love working with these kids, but it brings up so many hard memories. And, you know, I just felt like those pieces started falling into place. Every once in a while, I'd be like, you know, I really want to do this. Boom, something would fall into place. And I found a vocal coach. Boom, something would fall into place. I met Billy. Boom, something would fall into place. I lost Ben's ring, but created an amazing song as a result. And so, you know, what you said is very, very true. Pieces fall on both sides.
It really does. And, you know, we both have that in common. I was a nurse in my 20s as well. And, but I always had this dream of becoming a designer and interior designer. And I went back to school and I did. I transitioned and then, you know, Chad, we had a business together. And when he died, I transitioned eventually all these years later into doing this with Modern Widows Club. But of course, I did not know. I loved my career, but then he had other plans for me. So I'm going to bring Billy on, because then we'll switch over and we'll actually watch the video together. But Billy is a huge part of this story, and so thanks for being on the call, Billy.
Of course, it's an honor to be with you guys. How are y'all doing?
Great. So this is Billy Dorsey Jr., assuming there's a senior somewhere. And when we first met, I was telling you about how Modern Widows Club is a bridge between grief and growth. And oftentimes I do my videos in front of this bridge image that I have. And then Billy goes, oh, the name of my company is the Bridge Life Productions. And I was just like, of course it is.
Talk about synergy, right?
Yeah. So I knew we were all in the right place to create this amazing project together. But I really, Billy, you have a really powerful backstory too, and you can tell just a little bit about that. And then we're going to watch the video because the between people submitting these 1 million widows photos, we had over 100, I think, sent in. Liz working and kind of all that was happening at the same time. And then she's over here singing and you're writing, you co-wrote the song together. And then you send me the song and I'm just like, oh my gosh, how did they just nail it? And I have such admiration for that kind of talent. But just tell a little bit about your story so people know where you come from.
Gladly. So my dad is a pastor. My parents are, I grew up in a military family, so I live a little bit of everywhere, all over the world. My story is, long story short, that I signed my first record deal to sing at 19, moved to Houston, where the record label was based, started working on the deal, and the label tried to replace one of the members of the group. I fought against it, and they froze our contract out, and I ended up homeless on the streets here in Houston, in Fifth Ward. If you know the Houston area, that's a very bad area. Certainly back then, it was much worse than it is now. But I went from being homeless to winning a Grammy Award and producing records that have top charts all over the world. I was discovered while I was in the state of homelessness by a famous producer in Beverly Hills. So I literally went from sleeping on the streets in Fifth Ward to, five-star hotels in Beverly Hills, writing songs for Kelly Clarkson and Britney Spears and artists like that. And because of my journey and because of everything that I've been through, I just have a heart for people that have a story, and it's why Liz and I connected so well. Yes, I love to work with great voices, and Liz definitely has that. But, I believe that it's not just our talent that makes us impactful, it's our journey. And so when Liz was sharing with me all the things that she and Ben have shared and her journey to this point, my heart as a producer, and I shared this with Liz in the studio, is I just want to capture that and be able to help you present that to the world. And so when she told me about Modern Widows Club and what you guys do, I was like, ding, 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 ding. We've got to make sure we create something, because just like the bridge and the bridge life, that synergy where things just all kind of fall into place, the pieces fall into place together. I just felt like the three of us working together and creating something that would help people. It was a natural fit. And so it's been an honor. Carolyn, Liz, it's been an honor working with you guys.
Yeah, and we already know there's going to be more good things coming out of this, but I want to show everyone the video now, and the lyrics. There's one part in you'll everybody will know, but if there's this one part where before the chorus, but it's like when a piece of your heart is gone, you don't know if you will ever feel again on those days when it's most dark. And it seems the pain will never end. Always remember you are 1 in a million. And so I loved how you took that. There's 1 million women in the United States that become widows every year. And then you flipped at that and said, that's right. She's a 1 in a million woman. And I really appreciated that you recognized how precious and valuable our women are who become widowed in this country and around the world. So let me go ahead and pull up that screen and go ahead and let's watch it. Let me find it. Okay, here it is. So this is the world premiere. Today is Liz's first single. And so we're going to watch this together. And I hope you will enjoy it. This is also on the Modern Widows Club. This is actually coming from the Modern Widows Club YouTube channel. And for those of you who are on our Inside Look newsletter, you will receive this right after this call. So here we go. I want to make sure I don't think I can open it up all the way in the screen. But here we go. Can everyone see it? Yes. I want this to open up, and I'm scared it'll do the whole screen. Well, it did, but I don't know how to do that. But we're going to go ahead and go ahead and play it.
all the shadows of your face, framed in dawn's earliest light. My eyes settle on that portrait of you and I in better days. How could we have known then that soon you would be swept away? You are more powerful than you know. You don't have to carry this weight alone. When a piece of your heart is gone, don't know if you'll feel again. Those days when it's most dark and it seems the pain will never end. Just in the mirror, I know it seems hard to believe. Ain't nothing like it right now, but you'll pick up the pieces. Another day, another public facade, trying to prove doing okay. Too far to me, well, but don't understand. Till I'm barely holding on most days. I thought I failed when I didn't feel strong. When I lay in our bed and cried. In this house so filled with love, dreams I'll never realize. Since then I've learned you are more powerful than you know. You don't have to carry this weight alone. When the piece of your heart is gone, don't know if you will feel again. Those days when it's most darkest, seems the pain will never end. It's hard to believe right now, but you'll pick up the pieces. Moving forward doesn't mean you're moving on. When I
There it is. Oh my gosh.
Wow.
Wow.
I can't sing. And with that last chorus, I'm just like, oh boy, here we go. Like this girl's at the top of her voice. I'm just like, but that breathing part, I'm just like, oh yeah, a widow created this song. Because I don't know how many cuts that took, but I was just like, yeah. And then that exhale at the end, I was just like, it's amazing.
Well, and I knew I would only get so many takes of it before, like I would just to start crying, and I was like, I have to finish the song. I have to finish the vocals. But
wow. Oh my God. Okay. So I'm hearing people you can see, I think you guys can see, it's like, oh my God, it's beautiful. And it's, I don't even know how, like this morning I put it on. I was like, I can't listen to this song. Like, it's so special. It's like, I need to focus on work. And it's like, and then my work is of course at Modern Widows Club, but it's like, it really touches someplace deep. And that's what I think everyone, I look for. So Liz, are you going to come and sing at our Widow Empowerment event?
100%.
Oh my gosh,
Yes.
Bill, are you going to come and meet everyone too?
I told Liz I was going to be in the back of the room, if nothing else. I would be honored to, for sure.
We would love that. I mean, I think that everyone will love meeting both of you, especially for those who are on this and watch it after this actual live. But it's just tell us where they can find the song. So several people have already purchased it. They're posting here. But yes, Hillary, it is Liz, your voice, truly. I'm just like.
Thank you so much.
I love it. But tell us where we can get the song, where we can get the new release, new single. I'm sorry, I'm learning your lingo.
Well, it is available right now on iTunes, but Billy has assured me that by the end of the week, it'll be on other platforms as well for purchase and streaming, because we know not everybody has iTunes and iPhone, but we definitely kind of wanted to start with the big guns and everything like that. So
Yeah, I'm a Apple girl, so I was able to.
there are a lot of people that are.
And a lot of people are. That's right. It's like we always have to consider that. But I'm so grateful you guys came on this call, and I can't wait to meet you in person in Houston.
Yes.
And I'm going to talk a little bit about that event afterwards. But I just think that wow, this is just the beginning of something so beautiful that was so orchestrated before even all of us met. It was in the works. I really feel that. And we're going to, next year we want to do a music benefit. We have an amphitheater donated in Austin, Texas. And I know, Billy, you'd like to help us create a big music benefit fundraiser for MWC. So tell them about the song and what you're going to be doing for MWC.
So, oh, sorry, Billy, I've been talking a lot. Go for it.
Hey, this is your show. I'm here to support both of you, so go right ahead, Liz. You're fine with me.
So really, I mean, I am just so honored to be a part of this and to have, done this song and to have other opportunities. In September, I'm so excited. Billy and I are working on a total of 5 songs for an EP, and hopefully it turns into an album. But pretty much all of the songs are going to be inspired by the life that I shared with Ben, the ups, the downs, and I really hope that it can just kind of touch the lives of whoever might need to hear it. And for Modern Widows Club, I would be so honored to be a part of any fundraisers, events, anything, because I promised myself, after he passed away, that if I could help even just one other person by going through this, then I was going to find a way to do it. Yeah. And Billy has been absolutely amazing and just helping all of those things come true. So
thank you. Alicia said she found it on Spotify and Amazon, both music too.
Okay.
So
they beat our time frame. I saw that.
That's awesome.
Oh, we're just finding this out right now, but you guys are going to, on this particular song, you're going to be giving 25% of the proceeds back to MWC, and we really appreciate that, because I was just like, what? Like, this just keeps getting better. It's like that Christina Aguilera song, just keeps getting better.
Perfect.
Yes, we need to live our dream, Joan said, and you are so right. So thank you both for
you guys
being
in the comment section are so sweet and so supportive. Thank you so much for all of the just amazing comments.
You're welcome. Everyone can't wait to meet you. Now you're going to have to come to Widow Empowerment event, and I'm going to talk about that. But thank you, guys. I'm going to go ahead and let you go. And
all right. Well, thank you so much for having us.
Pleasure, everybody. Thank you.
Okay. Wasn't that awesome, you guys? I mean, Liz's voice is, when she goes into that last chorus, I'm totally like dreaming like vicariously through her, like I could actually do that, but I don't. I can't. Okay, so we've got a couple of the things. So I do want to tell you about the 2021 Widow Empowerment event, okay, because it's happening September 17th through 19th. We're in the process of getting the 22 speakers and numerous sponsors and also the exhibitors in our resource hall. All that's kind of in the midst. It'll be coming on the website. I was going to show you really quickly where that is on the website. Let me find it. Okay, here it is. So if you go over to Model Widows Club events and you go, you'll come to, what is this page? Let me find it, because I have to actually find it to move it. There it is. Okay, so this is the Widow Empowerment page. You can register from here. Well, I think we already have 110 people registered. Might be more. I didn't check it today. But you come over here and it has the register button right here. We're going to have some, we're slowly but surely putting up all the speakers. So I really appreciate everyone who's been waiting for this. We have to sign contracts. We have to do all that. And then they actually land on the page. But there is a short agenda here, just kind of so you know what the flow of the days are going to be. When it starts, when it ends, just so you know when to come into town and when to leave, and also just a little bit about the event with some photos and another register button. And as we get our sponsors logos, those will be popping in here. But I just kind of wanted to show you the page so that you can go over there and just explore or register. So there's that. But there's something else I want to share with you guys that's really exciting and brand new. And probably about, I don't know how many, probably about 5 years ago, I was challenged to think about what didn't exist for widows in the world. And what I came up with was a school. And I had a dream and this idea to create a widow empowerment school of thought, a house of widow transformation, and have e-courses and webinars and all that in one place where widows could actually access it. Anybody who's taken a university course or gone to school online, this is a very similar format. It's self-paced. You go over, you create a profile, you have your own, account of the courses that you've taken. And Widow Empowerment School of Thought is now open. And we have 2 e-courses. The first one is Hope. And it's completely free for anyone who wants to go over and take it now. After this live, you will get an email and you'll be able to click over there and take the Hope e-course that I've created. There's also another one that's for $39, and it's What You're Not Thinking Of, Closing Out a Loved One's Life After Loss. And that is a 2-part series, more for what we all need to do right after someone passes away, but also maybe a year down the road. And we partnered with Sunny Care Services from Nashville on this course. And so you can now go over. Now, we're going to have a whole series of Hope, Heal, Grow, Lead, but I'm going to be delivering maybe another course by the Widow Empowerment event. We'll see. But at the end of the year and into 2020, the goal is to have Hope, Heal, Grow, Lead all up and ready for you to walk virtually along with you. And of course, we have our communities and everything else that we do, but e-courses are the future. Widows all over the world will be able to access this, and that's what they need. They need things that are accessible on their phones and computers whenever they need it in the middle of the night, and they need to feel supported. And this ensures just another way for that to happen. And so I'm very proud of this venture. I'll just kind of scroll here and I'll show you a little bit of the page. I think I will. Where is it? Okay, here it is. It's taken a big learning curve to do this, but this was another skill that I learned. But this was my COVID contribution. When I was during COVID, this was the dream that kept coming up for me, is to create something that was available for women wherever they are, whatever stage of widowhood they're in, and also wherever they are geographically. So Widow Empowerment School of Thought, this is a house of widow transformation. The goal really is that when you start with our courses and as you grow, you walk through that process, the Hope, Heal, Grow, Lead. But it just kind of lists who we serve. It's got that same process again here. You can start, kind of goes through, talks about the Hope, Heal, and the Grow and the Leads, the descriptions and our goals really for each one of those courses. It's got a little welcome video here from me. And then some ideas like, is this course something that's for you? And then here are the 2 courses that are available now. Let me open it up a little bit more so you can see a little bit more. Sorry. So these are the 2 courses that it's short for Widow Empowerment School of Thought. We saw it. You're going to hear we saw it a lot from now on, because today is the international launch of our Widow Empowerment School of Thought. But you can go over as soon as you get your email. You can click on here, you can start. If you want to do this one, it's $39, and it's very informative. It's one of the best presentations I've seen on comprehensively knowing what to do. And you can refer this to so many people, because everyone who has lost someone, whether it's a spouse or even a parent, would benefit from taking that. So then just a little information about me, and again, some FAQ, and that's it. So we created this just for you guys. Whoops, excuse me. Oh, someone. So I'm really excited to share all of that with you guys. I can't wait for you to hear the lyrics of that song. It really is moving. When you go to, when you get the link, there's a whole playlist. So there's 2 short videos. You can share those. And then there's a longer one. We did the full song. But there's also videos there of me doing interviews, and also the International Widows Day. So there's a whole International Widows Day playlist in Modern Widows Club YouTube channel. And of course, this video will be over there too. But I just want to thank all of you so much for being on our International Widows Day call. We're all raising awareness in our own ways. I've seen a lot of what you've posted on Instagram and Facebook, and it all matters, because widows matter. This empowering widows truly does matter. And if I didn't know that already, being on the international calls that I was on this morning and seeing the struggles that widows are having around the world in third world countries, just brings it home even closer to me, because these are women just like each one of us who one last breath became widowed. And none of us wanted to be in this club, but here we are together, and our voice can really be used for these voiceless widows that are around the world. I personally believe that God is doing an amazing new thing in the world. COVID is going to bring light to a lot of COVID deaths and widows and families. If you saw my TEDx, I talk a lot about, for every person that we've lost, there's 9 people around you that are grieving. And so we have a lot of grieving people. And so we can use the strength and the wisdom and the empowerment that we are creating together and do greater things in the future. So thank you all for being on the call. And I guess I'll see you online, and hopefully I'll see you at Widow Empowerment event, because we have room for 200 and we want that room to be packed. So love you guys. Have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you soon.